Okay, so Leanne, you and I have known each other for a while, and we've done multiple coaching sessions. And I know you come in today, and you've got a particular issue. So let's start with tell me what's on your mind.
Well, our office has been working at 50% capacity now for about 6 months.
Yes.
So we're very overworked and stressed, but at the same time, we've built this level of trust that is really great. We have supported each other. Everybody's just gotten along really well because the people that left they kind of sucked the energy out of the office. And so now we've created some really good energy. We are now hiring 2 people, and that's wonderful. But there are 2 people, and they're coming in at once. They have very different personalities and strengths. So I'm concerned about how to bring them into the office and have um, not just the training be good for them, for the knowledge of what they need to do, but just developing that trust and those personalities and just how we can start that off on a good note.
Okay. So have you ever been involved in training before in bringing new faculty or new staff into an office?
I haven't been the trainer
Okay.
before. I've been someone who's facilitated that, but it's mostly been in larger situations where the dynamic just happens. You know, when you have 2 people coming in and there's 10 other people, it's a smaller ripple.
Mm-hmm.
But there are 4 of us and then 2 new people. So, I mean, it's a much larger percentage of change. So, I haven't really done any of the get to know you sort of
Okay.
figure out how to say what needs to be said about what's important. But I guess that doesn't really matter, though, does it?
Well, let me ask you this: what's the your greatest fear of what could happen with the 2 new people that come in?
Well, because we came from a dynamic where there was distrust and there was someone who was always, I would say she was very demeaning to our administrative assistant, and she was also a little dishonest, but in a passive aggressive way.
Okay.
So you never knew what she was doing outside the office, what she was saying outside the office, um, what she was going to say next. So, anyway,
What makes you think the 2 people that are being hired would possess that type of dysfunctionality to break up what you've got?
I really don't think they will,
Okay.
or we wouldn't be hiring them.
Okay.
So I shouldn't be thinking about that fear.
Okay.
That's not something that I should really be focusing on. But I just want to do what I can to help them understand who we are and help us understand who they are. So I guess with that understanding, I do have the confidence that they're going to come in and be good team players. We've made sure that we ask the questions.
So let me ask you this, and I know we're doing a modified version of this for
Mm-hmm.
them. So I feel like I'm rushing you along,
Mm-hmm.
and normally we probably would take a lot more time.
Right.
So with the 2 new people that are coming in, if it was an ideal situation, perfect. Describe that for me. What would it look like
What would it look like with them or
with
training
them?
them?
With them,
Um,
how would
they,
it flow?
we use StrengthsFinder as a tool in our office
Mm-hmm.
to get to know each other, and we often praise each other based on strengths. So I guess they would have an understanding of our strengths, we would have an understanding of theirs, and we would try to operate from that lens. So that, and sometimes strengths can manifest in a way that it can land the way it's not intended to land. Like if someone's very deliberative, you might think they're just being slow and they're trying to disrupt a process, but they're not. They're just trying to look at all the avenues. So, an understanding of each other,
Mm-hmm.
and then an understanding of what's important to our office. Like this trust and this relationship is important, and this is how we operate and how we operate not only within the office but outside the office.
So let me ask you a very personal question. So let's say that one or more of these individuals that comes in starts exhibiting, perhaps you do strength finders and you find that it's not exactly there's some issues here or there. What skills, or do you believe that you have the skills to be able to pull that person aside and be able to say to them, these are my expectations, this is how it's going to have to work? Do you have that skill set, or do you believe you have the confidence in yourself to be able to do that?
I do.
Okay.
I believe that I have the confidence to do that. And I think if we set it up well up front, then it would be a matter of saying, remember when we talked about this? This is a situation that we wanted to avoid. And here's why. This is how, whatever the action is, this is how you're landing. And that's not the way it's probably not the way you intended.
Right.
So I just want to be clear so we can move forward in a better direction.
And knowing you, I believe that about you. So now I'm back to the original reason as to why you're here. So if you believe, you know that you have the skill set to be able to pull a person in if they get out, and you also believe that you're hiring the best candidates. I know that about you, and that you're optimistic that they might have those skill sets, and you have tools in place to communicate expectations and to measure and to communicate. What is causing you to have this apprehension?
Well, I shouldn't have apprehension.
Okay.
I should really just make time to sit down and with my group to say, what is it that we're doing that's making this wonderful dynamic work?
Yeah.
What is good for you? What's happening to make you feel secure, or I'm assuming they feel secure and happy? What is it that we want to make sure that we try to create with these new people?
Yeah.
So that we can, first of all, find out their strengths, reinforce them, build them up, but just give them an expectation that they can meet. So that's really just what I have to do.
Okay. So is that a possible plan that you could walk away with?
That is. I'm going to go and talk to my team first to find out what they think the specific things are that we should outline.
Yeah. So
that by the time we hire them, we can incorporate that into the training, because we want to make sure that both of those things, the knowledge they have to have and then the dynamic in the office, they're both addressed.
Okay.
So
sounds good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See how easy that was? Thanks.